Hello and welcome to coverage of Club 100's new for 2016 Elite Sprint Championship. It's the beginning of May and it's round 4 of the 11-round series and the first of 2 visits this season to the picturesque and challenging Whilton circuit in the heart of England near Silverstone in Northamptonshire. The format features Club 100's best sprint drivers competing in 3 of 5 championship scoring heats, points from which will set the grid for the Repechage B final and the Trophy A final. In terms of the championship, Steve Brown won at round 1 at Buckmore Park and has managed to maintain a narrow lead over the consistent podium finishing of Darren Teal. The chasing pack in the championship is headed by Jay Elliott, the winner of Heat 5 this morning, Pete O'Connor, the winner of the A final at Rye House, and Jonathan Lissider. This trio are 40 points off the championship leader, and perhaps not surprisingly, the top 5 in the championship have all qualified in the top 6 for the A final today. And this is the A final for the top 20 qualifiers, joined at the back of the grid by Oliver Knights, Ian Blake, Jamie Jenkins and Ray Norris as the top 4 from the B final. In pole position, one of the pre-season favourites, Jay Elliott, ahead of Stephen Hicks, who won Heat 2 earlier. Jonathan Lissider and championship leader Steve Brown are on row 2. His main rival, at least on points right now, Darren Teal on row 3, with Rye House winner Pete O'Connor. Heat 1 winner Tyler Mays, who's moved up from the now defunct Clubman Sprint Championship, is on row 4 with Heat 3 winner Jack Harding. John Pethick and Tom Dix make up the top 10. The reigning champion, if there can be such a thing with a new championship, is Premier Sprint champion Anwar Burrell-Smith. He starts on grid 11, and look out for the 2014 champion Ian Blake trying to come through from deep in the field as he did in the B final, starting on grid 22. Jay Elliott controlling the pace in the white there on the right hand side. Well, he's just not going, he's been pushed along there by Jonathan Lister, and Stephen Hicks was ahead at the start line and he leads through Crook and uphill. Will this be allowed to run? We saw in the B final that it was waved off, and indeed it's been waved off again. So looking for a cleaner start this time. Poleman, kart number 4, Jay Elliott. On the front row with him, Stephen Hicks. On the second row, Jonathan Lister and championship leaders, Steve Brown in kart number 3. Darren Teal second in the championship and Pete O'Connor, Rye House winner, on row 3. Into turn 1 and Jay Elliott got the whole shot, and there was just the slightest tap on the back bumper there of Darren Teal from Stephen Hicks as Darren moved to take the second apex. But it's Elliott leading Lissider, Steve Brown down the inside of Stephen Hicks into Christmas corner, and then it's getting fairly frantic behind, and Jack Harding's been put on the grass. Where's he coming back on? Well, it's past Ingermans and just out of the main pack. Down into Ashby, and Tyler Mays goes down the inside of Stephen Hicks, who gets run out wide. And John Pethick and Tom Dix have gone through as well. Hicks not too happy with that move, I think, from Tyler Mays. Down to Chapman's. Tyler Mays has moved through to 5th place. As the rest of the field are busying themselves, having a sort out, getting in a running order. On board with Dave Waters. Oliver Knights ahead of us, he won the B final. Into the boot section, somebody running wide. It's all a little bit messy, and Dave Longman's had to let Ian Blake and Oliver Knights through. So it's Elliott, Lissider, Brown. Look at the gap they've got on Pete O'Connor, Mays, Pethick, Dix and Stephen Hicks trying to recover. Basically everybody's gained a position at the expense of Darren Teal and Stephen Hicks. And look at Tyler Mays, he's already gapped the group behind. Pethick holding off Tom Dix. Stephen Hicks through the kink, through Inkermans, down to Ashby. Dix took a look up the inside and Pethick's run wide. Remaining clear. And Hicks is under pressure from Harry Neal. Promoted from the lightweight championship. Going well here at Wilton Mill. On board with Waters, who throws one down the inside of David Longman. And Longman's going to just have to live with that one for a few corners. Well, Tyler Mays has moved on to the bumper of Pete O'Connor, and he's getting an overlap in the last corner. Side by side. Misses the corner on the inside. Has he got the position? He hasn't. Pete O'Connor hanging on here. Mays looking for a good run through Crook. No, he's in the draft. You can hear the engine note rise as he comes on the brakes up at Christmas corner, and that's a good clean move from Tyler Mays. Now has O'Connor got a counter-attack on, and Lissider's down the inside for the lead at Ashby. And look at the gap that these three have got on the O'Connor and Mays battle, and Steve Brown has moved through to second. So first to third in 2 corners for Jay Elliott. And he wants Stephen Brown to tow him back to Jonathan Lissider. Well, this is a chance for John Lissider to win this one. The rest of the field streaming into the boots. Knights ahead of kart 52. Dave Waters, and he's looking to get a run in the last corner, side by side. Not quite as frighteningly fast. A corner to go through now with all that lovely concrete runoff, and the same could be said of Crook on the exit, all in the name of safety, so we can't complain. So the field lining up behind Tyler Mays in 4th place. Further back, Longman, ahead of him Ed Bars, Dave Waters, Oliver Knight's in the blue. Waters going narrow into Ashby will open him up to an attack here from Ed Bars and Oliver Knight. Jack Harding to the inside of Harry Neal. That's a lovely late hard move, clean as you like. And Steve Brown, the championship leader, has moved onto the bumper of Jonathan Lissider, coming round to start lap 5 of 11. And Steve Brown looks pretty quick and pretty racy, looking for another win. Field stream through. Lissider takes a look. Brown to the inside. Well, he's holding fire for now. Jay Elliott is being stretched, but he's just there on the brakes. A kart length down on Steve Brown. So this remains a 3-way fight for victory. And it does look as though these three will dispute the podium steps. Tyler Mays is 2.5 seconds behind this group, but beginning to gap Pete O'Connor. And here comes Stephen Brown. Listener looked over the wrong shoulder, and Steve Brown moves to the lead. Now can Jonathan hang on and live in his slipstream and get towed clear of Jay Elliott? And can Jay Elliott get back on? Tyler Mays running in 4th place, ahead of Pete O'Connor, Tom Dix, John Pethick, Jack Harding, Stephen Hicks, James Hattersley. Fighting hard here with Anwar Burrell-Smith, the 2015 Premier Sprint champion. He's under pressure from Harry Neal, and here comes Ian Blake down the inside of Neal into Christmas from a long way back, but it's a good clean move. And the 2014 Premier Sprint champion moves up a spot. He's now in 12th place. Not bad going from grid 21, but a long way off the leading battle here. Brown, Lissider, Elliott down at Chapman's. Stephen Brown is beginning to stretch Jonathan Lissider, and Elliott is really hanging on the toe by his fingernails. John Pethick trying to get past Jack Harding, and I think he might lose out to Stephen Hicks. Yes, he will. Another lap goes in the books, and we move on to lap 7. And Pethick is down in 9th place, Harding in 7th, Hicks in 8th. So Jack Harding heading uphill, takes a look over his shoulder. Tom Dix down the inside of Pete O'Connor, and that's for 5th place. So O'Connor is sliding back through this final. Probably wishes he changed his kart before this final now. Anwar Burrell-Smith still side by side and fighting hard with James Hattersley, one of the few drivers to come up from the heavyweight championship at the end of last season and making his mark. Ian Blake down the inside, and Harry Neal does it, makes it 3 wide and does the pair of them. So another promotee, lightweight runner, Harry Neal, not fazed by being in the top class here. And Jamie Jenkins down the inside of Anwar Burrell-Smith, whose title defence is proving to be a difficult second album to write. Side by side, Harry Neal pushed all the way across to the tyre barrier by Ian Blake, and it's still side by side through turn 1. And once again he goes side by side with the former champion, has one on his bumper. And down the inside, he opened himself up there by mistake. Well, just shows a little lack of experience with racing with these boys there. Should have covered that one off. And Oliver Knight has got ahead of Ed Bars in their fight for 16th place. Back on board here with Longman down at Ashby. And James Hattersley has moved on to the bumper of John Pethick, who's forced to go narrow into Chapman's. This is the fight for 9th place, and James Hattersley wants to make his mark in the top 10. There's your race leader, Steve Brown, Lissider and Elliott hanging on. Mays actually closing in there in 4th place. Pete O'Connor back ahead of Tom Dix with Jack Harding behind, so it's a 3-way fight now for 5th place. O'Connor, Dix and Harding. Oh, we saw Dix go by, so I can only think he's made a mistake and fallen back, but he's down the inside once again into Christmas, and here comes Ian Blake, slicing down the inside, and once again, Jack Harding 3 wide with Dix and O'Connor through Inkermans. That only happens in Club 100, and Stephen Hicks would like to make it 4 wide into Ashby. Well, Jack Harding stays in 5th place, which is strange given he was on the grass just at the corner before, and he's still having a hold off Tom Dix by going narrow. Stephen Hicks is in there, John Pethick, now Ian Blake is in the group as well. And what have we got here? We've got a 6-7 way fight for 5th place with Anwar Burrell-Smith back ahead of James Hattersley and in the top 10. And Tom Dix moves through to 5th as we come through to start the penultimate lap here at Whilton Mill in the A final of the Elite Championship. You're not missing much up front, it's still very tight. Steve Brown, Jonathan Listener, Jay Elliott all in touch. The fight is really on over 5th place, and Tom Dix is trying to pull now Jack Harding clear of Pete O'Connor, who's holding up the pack, as he's done for most of this final as best he can. And Ian Blake moves through on John Pethick to go into 9th place. Back on board here with Dave Waters down the inside of Harry Neal, side by side, runs him out wide and puts Harry Neal through the barrier. And here we are back up front, Steve Brown now stretching clear of Jay Elliott, who's just got back past Jonathan Listener. Oh, and that was well timed by Steve Brown. We're on to the final lap and he's going to run out the winner here. Dave Waters coming through the last corner. He'll look to the penalty board that's swinging under the start-finish gantry to see a penalty for him for that assault on Harry Neal. There's 4th place, Tyler Mays cruising to 4th place. John Pethick trying to hold off Anwar Burrell-Smith in what I think is the fight for 10th place. Jamie Jenkins in the mix, Waters running with his penalty now. Down at Ashby, can't get it done, and Ian Blake is trying to find a way past Pete O'Connor. Well, what's happening up front? Well, the race win is going to go to Steve Brown. Jonathan Listener's got one last chance into the toe of the boot, can't get it done. Is the crisscross on? No, it is not. Steve Brown takes his 2nd win of the season. Ahead of Jay Elliott, Jonathan Listener, and Tyler Mays has a career best 4th place finish in his debut season in elite class. A win, a well-driven, Steve, I've got to say, and I didn't think you were going to win that one, but you've come through the field to win it.
Yeah, I was pleased after after Christmas on lap 1, looked behind and there was just the hugest of gaps. So from then on it was pretty comfortable, but I felt pretty comfortable in that car, so I thought I might as well go for some moves, and they thankfully came off.
And I think pulling away at the top of the championship maybe?
Well, I'll have to see after today. If you drop a couple of rounds, it might get interesting, because I'll still say that Ian Blake is up there. I know he didn't have a good round today, but so he'd be up there. Daz was not so good today, unlucky today, but Joe had another good round, so it's by no means over yet.
Just wasn't there.
No, just a little bit off the pace, just tiny bit. Steve just had a bit more bottom to mid-range, and couldn't do anything about it. Tried my best. Jay got past me, made a mistake. I was catching him up last lap, made a mistake, and that was the end of that. But I thought when Jay went past, we'd try and see if we can catch Steve up, but it wasn't to be. So good day though, good day.
That's still good points.
Yeah, it's good. It was good fun. Cheers.
Glad you're happy.
Yeah, no, yeah, no, it's still good fun, isn't it?
But to our winner then, winning Whilton Mill round 4 here in the elite class, driver number 3, Steve Brown! Well done, Steve. There we go, mate. Steve, good job. Well done.